Hello, ladies and gentlemen from around the world. I'm Wale, coming to you live on this program. We want to discuss about Okada riders. Okada rider or motorcyclists, taxis. So these people are informal sector in Nigeria. It is motorcyclist taxi. They paddle, they use this motorcycle to transport people, goods and services, or goods rather, from one place to another. So today we want to talk about Okada riding. Should they be helped? Should they be helped to perform? Should they be banned? Should they be assisted in terms of government policy or buying it for them or whatever? So this is all what the areas that we'll be looking throughout maybe 3 or 4 days or maybe throughout a week. So first, we know that if Okada riding is called motorcyclist taxis. So these people, some of them are usually graduates, none of them that are the entities nowadays. Some of them are graduates that have searched for job and can't see job. Of course, the work is informal job, competing with more formal job like motor taxis and maybe keke napep. That is a tricycle and all of that. Basically, you know that if I want to talk about Okada, I want to simply talk about how we can help them. Remember, I comment a program titled "How to Help Poor Nigerians Out of Poverty." And it is this very program is an appendage of that program. In that program, I mentioned 7 advantages of helping poor people. And I strongly believe that after you have listened to those advantages, you will definitely be looking for ways to help people. And one of the ways you can help poor Nigerians or Africa is to rethink or consider helping Okada riders. But today, we want to simply look at some kind of futures about Okada riding. We want to look at futures of Okada riding before we go ahead and talk about ways by which they could be helped, assisted, or that. Yeah. So this Okada rider are often known as informal sector, manipulating their ways among formal vehicles like the monuers, the bus and the taxi, as you can be seeing in the video that is playing. Also, employment opportunities. Like I said earlier on, Okada provides employment opportunity for people who could not be employed in formal industry, informal entrepreneurs and all of those kind of things. But this is informal sector whereby with just 50,000 naira, 100,000 naira, you could buy fairly used Okada. But mind you, if you buy fairly used Okada, you are going to be paying through your nose. All the money that you'll be making would possibly be given to those selling spare parts or the mechanic that will be fixing the parts that are spoiled that you want to refix. So it's entrepreneur and self-employed. One good thing about Okada riding is that it's entrepreneur. It's nobody, you are not employed by anybody except though if you take the Okada for hire purchase, because there are 3 ways by which you could get Okada in Nigeria. Number 1 way is for you to buy with your money, which plenty people cannot afford, because Okada now is 600,000, 700,000. Now, if some people have 700,000, they would rather go into maybe business, maybe sell cream or sell anything, or just do some kind of things. But then, so the next way is paying instrumentally. Paying instrumentally is when you pay this Okada bit by bit. Maybe instead of 600 naira that you take the Okada, you are asked to pay the Okada. You have to be paying the Okada maybe 1 million naira, but you have to be paying maybe 25,000 naira every weekend. So that is 1,000 naira every day. So that is another means by which you pay. And then you could buy the fairly used or the Tokumo or the old Okada. So this old Okada is the worst among any form of Okada, because nobody can ever sell something that is new, something that has not been faulty. Anything that has not been faulty, that has not developed some kind of frustrated fault, nobody will want to throw it out cheaply. So these are things. But then, of course, we need to give Okada kudos that it is formal sector. It is informal sector rather, and it is self-employed. So another thing is safety. Okada is one of the most riskiest things. If there's English like that, among everything that is risky, Okada stands as the top. So this is what we are talking about, that whether it should be banned, because a lot of people remember the major topic of this teaching is whether Okada should be bound or they should not be bound. And then today we are looking at the definition of Okada and the characteristics and all of those things. Tomorrow we'll look at the advantage, and another day we'll look at the disadvantage, and then we'll now come to conclusion, juxtapose whether or not the Okada should be bound or allowed. Of course, in some places they have bound it already, and in some places they are still allowed to move freely. But then my whole stand is this: Okada provides employment opportunity to Nigerian population, which we know that one of the uphill tasks in Nigeria is definitely Okada. One of the is definitely employment opportunity. That's definitely, absolutely one of the uphill tasks in Nigeria. So competition and conflict. Of course, those who are into formal industry, formal transport service, they are always competing with this Okada to take their space, and sometimes it lead to fight. Like I've physically experienced one fight between Okada and motorists right in Iwo City. And of course, a lot of places in Osun State, Ondo, Ore, all this kind of place, Akure, all this kind of place, Lagos, Ibadan, Abuja, there have always been conflict among these categories of people. Okada is also technologically equipped to move, sail anywhere. Platform, they can just manipulate their ways everywhere and so on. Economic impact is crucial in meeting the transition need of the large population of the people. Of course, some people want to meet their work, arrive in their work very early, and then they want to just manipulate their way. They want to, in fact, we have heard of story, those who want to go to work because of hold up, because of traffic jam, and even if where there's no hold up, Okada could still manipulate and pass through houses and all of those things, and even overtake some motor, some vehicles on the highways. Okada is known with some kind of fringe advantage, and all of those kind of things, enormous advantage. So this is what we are talking about. Some people who want to do wedding self often leave keke napep, that is tricycle, and motor to board Okada to their wedding venue because they must not be late. So ladies and gentlemen, we talk about community integration. Community integration is where provide essential transition service contributing to the economy in local and rural environment. There are some places in local environment that motor cannot strike, motor cannot go. So this Okada provides this kind of place. Adaptability. Okada also provide adaptability for this thing. So let's go ahead within the few minutes and talk about some advantage of Okada. But okay, we will be talking about the advantage tomorrow or next time. So ladies and gentlemen, this is what we are talking about. Start dropping it in the comment section, whether you are on TikTok, whether you are on Facebook, whether you are on whichever. Start dropping it in the comment section your opinion about Okada riding in Nigeria. Of course, we have had a lot of stories that whether they are the ones still, whether they are the one causing accident, Okada have often led to a lot of amputated legs. Okada have done this, Okada have done that. Start dropping your comment for we to look at it in this Oyekanluwole TV. I remain your lovely host, my friend. Bye for now. Please do subscribe to my channel or follow me, or remember to comment. That your comment is very important as we begin to look at Okada. Remember, anything that Oyekanluwole Basi want to do, it is to help. It is to help especially the poor, because that as we are helping the poor, we are actually helping God. I am that poor person Jesus said that you see and ignore. So that is why I have come out on my YouTube channel. On every program that we are doing, we are always trying to help the poor. Thanks and bye for now. I remain your lovely host, Oyekanluwole Basi.